2, 3.
Good afternoon. I'm Tanya and you're watching The Daily Talk. Today we'll be talking about sports. We'll be talking about Taekwondo and futsal. So without further ado, let's welcome our guest from the Taekwondo panel, Coach Sharmin and athlete Nurin. And from the futsal panel is Miss Radia, or rather Coach Radia, and the athlete Raja.
Okay, hi Tanya and everyone. Thank you for having us here.
All right. So from the futsal panel, Coach Radia, and of course our athlete Miss Raja. So how does it feel to be here on this beautiful day for both of you?
I'm doing great, actually. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, me too.
And from the Taekwondo panel, Coach Sharmin and Miss Nurin, how are you feeling?
Everything is all right. Thank you for asking.
And actually, we are really excited to be here.
Oh my, we're excited to have you here. Okay, so beginning with this podcast session, we are going to talk about futsal first, if I may. So we're going to start with Miss Radia. So my first question is, what was the reason that made you become a coach, or rather, why did you choose to become a coach?
Okay, the reason they make me become coach. Okay, the coach is the one of the most inspiring people in any athlete's life. So from my personal experience, I can agree to this. Every coach has ever had a huge impact on my life. I want to become coach because I love to football and want to make a positive difference in the life of my students and players. So since I was a child, I want to become coach. Even if I'm really coaching at a small high school, being coach is difficult, but and come with a lot of responsibility. So to become a coach, I had to suffer and sacrifice a lot of things in my life. So I being coach for 6 years. A set of skills needs to be a coach. And a coach, for example, must be able to communicate with others, and a coach, you never want to lose your players' trust and faith. I think that's all.
I see. So our athlete, our futsal athlete, Miss Raja, must be extremely lucky to have you. Am I right, Miss Raja? Or is she a very fierce coach and she scares you? Is that it?
No.
Coach Ratia is a very good coach. I'm very
I
thankful
see.
to have her.
Thank
All
you,
right, all right.
Raju.
That's very nice to hear the success of your journey, Miss Radia. So now I would like to move on to our Taekwondo panel's coach, Miss Sharmin. What is your opinion on Miss Radia's journey from one coach to another?
From my opinion, as a coach, I really can understand Ratya journeys. I've also had my own struggles to become a Taekwondo coach.
That's very nice. You both feel very empathetic towards each other. You put each other's in your own shoes. So I would like to move on to our athlete itself, Miss Raju. So how did you discover your passion for futsal?
What I discovered is it all started when I was in primary school. At first sight, in my mind, the senior athletes looked very cool during the primary school years. I really want to be like them one day. When I was in standard 3, I went to tryouts for track and field, in particular, the sprint event. It was truly my lucky day because I was qualified to represent the Yellow House. The sports day has arrived. During my event, which was the 100-meter sprint, I managed to seal the gold medal. Ever since that day, I started to join different sports, and now I have settled down to focus on futsal.
I see. I see you're wearing an MSU t-shirt, or rather a t-shirt with MSU logo. Are you in the futsal team for MSU?
Yeah, currently I'm playing for the MSU futsal team.
I see. Thank you so much for your response. I'm sure your story will inspire others, and I hope you continue on your journey for a bigger success. All right. So for our second panel, which is from Taekwondo, Coach Sharmin and athlete Miss Nurin. So Miss Sharmin, as a coach, I would love to ask you, other than self-defense, what elements do you think that is important and must be highlighted in Taekwondo?
For me, other than self-defense, there is also exercise element, which brings health improvements such as balance, flexibility, stamina, strength, and posture. Other than that, to the physical health improvement, Taekwondo is also known to benefit mental health to increase confidence, improve our self-esteem, focus, and concentration levels, and self-discipline.
I see. So if someone wants to improve themselves mentally and physically, do you suggest that they join Taekwondo?
Yes, for
I,
me, they should join Taekwondo.
I see. Thank you very much for your response. So now moving on to our very dear and beautiful athlete, Miss Nurin. So to you, as an athlete, you must have fun when you do something. That's where your passion comes from. So what is the best part of Taekwondo other than the sport itself?
So for me, the best part of Taekwondo, other than the sport itself, is actually the coaches, especially my favorite coach, Coach Charmin, who has inspired me the most. She would tell us what I needed to work on to improve my skill and overall performance. So, in my perspective, a great coach is one who wants to see you improve and is actually concerned about the well-being of his team members, both as players and also as people in general.
I see. I'm sure your coach is very pleased to hear that very heartwarming response from you. So, Miss Nurin, do you mind demonstrating us a kick or two just to show?
Yeah, sure.
No? Ooh,
So I will do a basic kick. It's called front kick. It's actually a really basic kick from Taekwondo that everyone can learn. So the first one is just kick using your back leg. So that's the basic kick that you all can learn actually.
I see. I feel like that's very good for basic self defense for everyone. Everyone should learn that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the basic kick.
Uh, all right. Thank you so much for that kick, Miss Nurin. Okay, back to our guest from futsal, Miss Radia. As a coach, what is the biggest challenge that you foresee in this job?
Okay, the biggest challenge I see in this role is understanding the difference between a coach and a manager. Because when a manager believes that the coach, the team become disappointed. So coach also feel uncomfortable declining their manager. Coaching the sense they really don't want to be kick off the squad. So as the result of the misunderstanding, a weak team grew. So, however, after the 6 years in Swil, I realized that a coach is people centered. So to be a productive in their work, he must develop a positive relationship with his team and manager. And if a coach and a manager are to be successful in their responsibility, I think believe they must be support each other. So that's all.
All right. Thank you so much. I am very much impressed and I absolutely respect your ways of dealing with the challenges as a coach. I'm sure that whichever coach that hears from your perspective would agree with you. And I'm sure the athlete will also be very lucky to have you as their coach. So, all right, let's move on to our athlete herself. So, Miss Raja, everyone needs motivation to push themselves somewhere. So, what is the drive that pushes you to excel in your sport?
My drive is competition. Competition is similar to a challenge in our lives, in that no matter what happens, we do not quit because the competition is simply a challenge that we must accomplish in order to progress to the next round. We all have problems in our lives that we can't fix right away, but we can solve them progressively. Competition pushes me to think how I act in emotionally charged situations and build great emotional intelligence as a result. When I feel empowered by my emotions, I am more willing to work hard and take on new challenges to learn. A competition is ideal because it encourages me to give my very best in futsal.
I see. All right. Thank you. Thank you for answering my question in a very fantastic way. I'm actually amazed to hear that. All right. So now I actually wish you all the best and that you excel in your sport. So I think this is the second last question from me. I ask a lot of questions because I'm the host, but at the same time I am genuinely curious and interested in both sports. All right. So, to the Taekwondo team, Coach Miss Charmaine, how does one improve their stamina in Taekwondo?
For me, to improve their stamina in Taekwondo is going along with muscular changes. Training in Taekwondo can help improve your stamina as well. When you're practicing Taekwondo, it's also important to consider how long you will be able to perform different kicks, blocks, strikes, and other moves.
I see. All right. Thank you for the response, Miss Charmaine. Sadly, we have come to the end of the show. But before we end the show, I'd like to give the last question to our dear Taekwondo athlete, Miss Nurin. If there was one thing you could alter about Taekwondo, what would it be?
If I could alter one thing about Taekwondo, it would be to go back in time. I want to bring back some of the old school techniques, especially for our black belts, so they can learn to be mentally and physically strong.
All right. So thank you for your time, Miss Radia, Miss Raja, Miss Charmin, and Miss Noreen. I really hope everyone enjoyed our talk show today. We have learned a lot from all four of you today. So hopefully people who are interested in futsal and taekwondo gained a lot of information and they can proceed and choose if they still want to enroll in either sport. So join us tomorrow again on the Daily Talk. I'm your host signing out, Nortanya. Good day, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.